Good evening. So today our team, PM Yen, we are having a stakeholder presentation. And in this presentation, there are 5 subtopics that are designed for the analytics manager as well as our clients. So to be more specific, the background, the project plan, as well as the closing remarks are for our analytics manager, while for the guided walkthrough of the financial dashboard as well as the future opportunity pitch are for our client usage. Next, please. So a little bit for the background of our client. They are the finance team within the ETW Corporation Limited. And now they are embarking on a transformation program to modernize their financial management practice through the use of data and advanced analytics. But the problem faced by them currently can be categorized into 3 parts, which is safety, the standardization, as well as productivity. So for the first one, the lack of safety, which is due to the sensitive financial information being shared via Outlook within our client's team. And secondly, for the lack of standardization, it's due to the existence of the multiple version of spreadsheets. And thirdly, it's due to the lack of productivity, where there's a low reproducibility and time wasted on solving the problem of the centralized information system. Next. So for the part where the business is affected by, in my opinion, I would say the first team which will be mainly affected would be research and data development. And next, coming to finance department, well, I would say the marketing team will be affected as well. And it's due to the wrong financial figure or financial ratios presented by finance department, well, leading the marketing team to wrongly implement the marketing strategy. And also finally, for the upper management team, when the financial data is wrongly given, they will also make a wrong decision as well. So for our proposed solution, there are 2 parts, which is the financial dashboard prototype that we are using through Power BI. It mainly serves as a purpose to present our financial dashboard in a centralized manner. And after that, which is the guided walkthrough, is that it serves as the purpose to help our client to walk through our financial presentation so that they can understand how it works, the features. So next, I will pass it to Emily for the project plan presentation.
And so now I'll be talking about the estimated and final timeframe and the budget. So for the timeframe, the estimated timeframe is 31.5 days, which is from 30 October 2021 till 14 October 2021. And the total hours for our estimated timeframe will be 604 hours. While for the final timeframe, we'll be taking 33.5 days, which is an extra of 2 days in the durations, and it will be from 30th August 2021 till 18 October 2021. However, the total hours will be still 604 hours, as there are some tasks we finished earlier than what we expected. And for the budget, the estimated budget is 23,050 ringgit, and for the final budget will be 23,450 ringgit, which is an additional of 400 ringgit. Next, please. And while for the discrepancies, for time frame, the duration has increased by 2 days. And this is due to the adjustment of the resource allocation. And not only that, there are 2 days delay in the visualization as well, as there's additional tasks from the clients, which we are asked to add the account payable tab. And we are also waiting to update the latest September value as well. And while for the budget has increased by 400 ringgit. And this is due to the additional tasks which require more resources to complete the additional tasks from the clients. Next, please. And so what are the issues caused by the additional works? So firstly is there are some additional requirements requested by the clients which are out of scope. And next, we have added the invoices tab that shows the compilation of the latest account receivable and the account payable. And now I'll pass to Mei.
Okay, so for retrospective purposes, I will briefly go through what went well and what didn't. Despite the delay in completion of the project due to the new updates given by the client, the tasks were completed on time. There was no miscommunication between the team members. Everything was sorted out immediately before executing relevant tasks. During the stand-ups, every team member was participative. Issues raised were solved together. And before commencing tasks, we weren't aware that we could not make edits at the same time for Microsoft project, which was kind of inefficient as we had to finish the tasks in the project one after another instead of editing it together. And we were also unable to create a dashboard in the same Power BI file. The file has to be downloaded many times for updated versions, which also causes inefficiency. And due to the new updates required by the client, dashboarding also took longer to complete as we had to create additional metrics. Next. And in conclusion, we have added an additional accounts payable tab based on the client's updated requirement, which contributed to the delay in completion of the whole project by 3 days. New resources were also allocated for the completion of the accounts payable tab. As there was a new update on the client side, we had to include additional metrics, September 2021's data into the Power BI dashboard, as well as adding an accounts payable tab, causing a delay from the initial estimation date. Some recommendations for the team are to equip ourselves better with Microsoft Project as we were still unfamiliar with some functions, while also reading over the assignment requirements better before commencing tasks, as we had to add baseline starting from part 2 after completing all tasks, leading to double work. And we should also explore other dashboard designs for better visualizations, while also improving DAX skills for a more efficient way of completing the dashboard. Lastly, we could also reduce resources by allocating only 1% for the additional tasks required by the client. Next, I'll pass it to Nicholas to walk through the dashboard.
Okay, so this is the dashboard that's requested to be built. As you can see, in the top left, it's the September gross profit margin, and below it, it's the net profit margin. And then this show the total revenue and cost, and this is the operating expense. So for the top part, it all explains about the September data. So from here, we can see that the September gross profit is 48.18%, and this is the detailed amount, while the net profit margin is only 2.34%. And here we can see the comparison of how much is the actual total income, the total costs, operating expense, and net profit. So we can see that from the income, it is divided into these three. And as we can see, the gross profit is actually already quite high, 48.18. However, the net profit is very small at 2.34%. The reason for this is the very high operating expense. That's why we added an additional operating expense information in here, even though it's not requested. So you guys could focus on the expense that is used and the detail on what it is used for. So, and then at the bottom part, it's the data for overtime. And we can change the data through this slicer, the date slicer. So we can change the time range. As you can see, whenever it's changed, these two are changed. And for this part, you can see whenever it's at below 0, it means that it is a negative profit. It means a loss. We can see the detailed number by hovering over it. And then for this part, the blue color shows the total income of overtime. And we can also see the detailed number for each point. So the yellow shows the total cost of sale, blue shows the total income, and green shows the total operating expense. So using this dashboard, you can easily see the data over time, and it's easily visualized. Yeah, and it's very easy to change it. Whenever we have new data, you can easily update the data without needing to create several data just by clicking this refresh button. And then if you want to change the data, you can just click the transform data and change the data source setting in here. Now I'll explain about the cash movement dashboard. So as we can see here, the left part shows the cash movement for the September, while the right part shows the account payable and receivable for September month. So in here we can see at details how much and at what we've received the cash and what we've spent the cash, what is our closing balance and what is our opening balance in details. While in here we can see in details our invoice, the account receivable and payable for the month of September. For the below part, it shows for the overtime data. So this is the cash movement for overtime, and this is the opening and closing balance over time. We can easily change the date range through here, and it will change. Okay, it's changed. So we can also see the detailed amount in here. So you can see how many we've received in this July month and how many we've spent. And we can also see it for our August. For our balance for the month of August and the closing and opening balance. And here we can see the account payable that's still due and account receivable that is still due. So now I'll move to the invoice tab. In here, we can see all of the invoice that is recorded in the data. And we can easily change the date slicer, and we can see the change. We can view the invoice that is invoiced on certain date that is on the range, time range. And then we can use this slicer to choose the company name we've wanted to select. See, we can just choose this and it will only show the select data we want to choose. For example, choosing ABC Furniture will show only the invoice from ABC Furniture. And then all of this dashboard is also linked through the data and could be easily changed by clicking the refresh and transform data like I've explained before. So it's all of them are linked. It's very easy to use this dashboard. That's it, the explanation for the dashboard, and I'll send it back to Ernie.
We had our project plan laid out and evenly distributed the resources for the project, and we had also solved over-allocation issues, while also loading spreadsheets into Power BI and created relationships between the columns to create graphs and charts to present better insights. We have also created an additional invoice tab according to the new update. Next. Our team has encountered some issues and were unable to fulfill all of their requirements. Due to time and resource restraints, we were unable to create an additional balance sheet tab. As our project was halfway completed, it seemed inefficient to be teaming up with another department. If we were to collaborate, it should have been done in the beginning of the project. And lastly, we were not provided access to the online server. Therefore, we were unable to publish the prototype to the online server. Next. So for future reference, our team could develop a better dashboard by including the client's new requirements of adding a balance sheet tab in the Power BI. Next, we could team up with other departments for increased efficiency, as we could use the resources provided to be able to complete the project with additional tasks. And teaming up with other departments should also be in the beginning of the project, as all team members will be up to date on relevant tasks. Lastly, if we were granted access to the company's online server, we could easily publish the prototype for easier reference. Our team is looking forward to working together with your company's BI department in the future. Thank you.